If you are a life science student, you have likely seen an informed consent form. You have been told it's a legal requirement. But in the industry, in the world of CROs and global trials, we see it differently. Every sentence is the form is written in response to a tragedy. Today, we are connecting the dry clinical language of ICF, also called as informed consent form, to the historical failures that forced those words onto the page. We are not just talking about history, we are talking about the modern industry, infrastructure that ensure these chapters never repeat. You might have seen these lines within the ICF today. Taking part in this study is voluntary. The purpose of the study is where you will clearly state the study's purpose. You may refuse to participate without affecting your medical care. They are not formalities. They are a direct response to Tuskegee syphilis study. For 40 years, researchers in Alabama monitored hundreds of black men under the guise of providing free healthcare. They were told that they had bad blood, while the researchers intentionally withheld penicillin after it became available post World War II, just to observe the disease natural progression until death. The betrayal here was a total breakdown of truth. When you see the line, the purpose of the study is, it exists because if a participant doesn't know the actual goal, their consent is an illusion. How the industry safeguards the truth today. In the modern industry, we don't just hope a researcher is honest. Every ICF must be vetted by an independent review board or independent ethics committee to ensure that the purpose is written in plain lay language that a non-scientist can understand. Furthermore, we operate under a standard of care mandate. If a proven cure becomes available during your trial, you are legally obligated to inform participants and provide it. We have also implemented vulnerability filters, ensuring that participants aren't forced into a study because of the financial desperation. We verify that the participant has the power to walk away without losing their basic right to medical care. You will not be pressurized or forced to participate. The possible risks and discomforts include: there may be risks that are currently unknown. These lines exist because of the experiments conducted during World War II. Researchers with absolute power used prisoners who had zero right to refuse. They were subjected to extreme conditions without disclosure of risk or hope of benefit. It was the ultimate example of science without soul. In the industry, we call this power imbalance. These lines exist to strip the researchers of their authority and give it back to the participant. When the form says unknown risks, it's a moment of radical honesty. You are telling the participant, we aren't gods. We are asking you to take this journey with us. Okay. How the industry safeguards autonomy today. Today, the industry enforces informed consent monitoring. Clinical research associates verify the informed consent process through source data verification. We check how the consent was taken. Was it in a private room? Was there enough time for questions? We also use pharmacovigilance systems to update ICF in real time. If a new side effect is discovered anywhere in the world, the industry is required to stop the trial, update the risk section, and reconsent every single participant. We don't just disclose risk once, we disclose it continuously. Samples such as blood, tissue may be collected for this study. Your samples data may be stored for future research. Your identity will not be revealed in any reports. In 1951, Henrietta Lacks had her cells taken during cancer treatment without her knowledge. Those cells, HeLa, became a multi-billion-dollar industry. Yet, Her family was left out of the conversation for decades. Her biology was commercialized while her personhood was ignored. A sample is never just a sample. It is a piece of human being. These lines exist to prevent biological ghosting. You are acknowledging that the participants' rights don't end when the blood leaves their arm. How the industry safeguards biology today. The industry now uses strict biobanking protocols and de-identification standards under regulations like GDPR and HIPAA. We don't just promise privacy. We use technical encryption and double coding to separate patient's identity from their sample. Moreover, the industry utilizes specific and broad consent. If a participant only agrees to let their blood be used for diabetes research, you cannot legally use it for anything else. We treat the sample as a loaned asset from the patient, not a gift to the lab. Alternative procedures or treatments available to you include: in case of study-related injury, compensation will be provided. If you have questions about your rights, you may contact. In 1940s, researchers in Guatemala intentionally exposed vulnerable people to diseases to test antibiotics. These subjects had no alternative treatments offered and no way to contact an oversight body when they became ill. They were trapped in the vacuum of accountability. Consent is not ethical if the participant feels they have no choice. These lines are the escape hatch. They provide that you are not holding the patient's health hostage to get your data. How the industry safeguards accountability today. Today, the industry uses clinical trial insurance and trial site audits. Every site must provide the contact details of the ethics committee, a body completely independent of the research team. This ensures the participant has a hotline to someone who is not trying to finish the study. We also mandate the disclosure of alternatives. In a professional protocol, you must prove that you have explained what happens if they don't join the trial, ensuring they know they can receive standard care elsewhere. When you enter the field, do not just hand over a pen. Look at the signature as a sacred trust. Tuskegee taught us that the purpose must be clear. Nuremberg taught us that the risks must be honest. HeLa taught us that samples have a legacy. Guatemala taught us that there must always be a safety net. The ICF is the price science pays to stay human. Treat it with the gravity it deserves.
Visit us today, www.CliniLaunchresearch.in.